In the book of Genesis 18, we see an epic tale between Abraham and some men while he is resting in a shade away from the scorching desert heat in the oaks of Mamre. Out of nowhere, 3 men who were later revealed to be angels appeared. We all know that they all sat and ate with Abraham, but only 2 departed to Sodom and Gomorrah. Who were they? Who actually destroyed Sodom? Many believe wrongly that the sinful city was destroyed by 2 angels, but this is not true. In this video, we reveal their true identities and what their missions were. Before we proceed, please take a few seconds to like this video and subscribe to our channel to get updates when we publish new episodes. Without much ado, let's unravel one of the mysteries of the ages that has confounded scholars for so long. One hot afternoon, when the sun is at its zenith, Abraham takes shelter in a shade to rest a while. Unknown to him, he is about to witness one of the first pieces of evidence of God's wrath against the sons of men. In the book of Genesis chapter 18, starting from the first verse, we see how 3 men appear out of nowhere. Reading further, we are told of how Abraham runs to them and implores them to come into his home from some refreshments in a typical show of hospitality. Initially, he didn't know, but would soon find out that these weren't mortals, but rather divine messengers of Elohim, the Lord of Hosts. After their refreshments, their heart is favorably disposed towards him, and they begin to speak. Who were these angels? It will astound you to know that these men weren't mere angels, but archangels of renown sent on a set of serious and specific missions. We know that there are millions of angelic beings in heaven, but for God to have sent these princes meant their business was indeed a serious one. Although they came together, they had different assignments, but these assignments were linked, as you will see in this video. But before we proceed, it is important to give a brief background of why they were on Earth in the first place, so you can understand the enormity of their tasks and the implications it will have on Abraham's future generations. The sin of Sodom is widely known to believers and non-believers of the Abrahamic religions. Although the Bible does not specifically state its location, many Bible scholars and archaeologists place this city on the east side of the River Jordan. It is called the City of the Plain, as it sits on a sprawling mass of land just adjacent to or under the shallow waters of Al-Lisan, which is a peninsula just in the central part of the southern and northern basin. According to Bible and Talmud scholars, the city was known for its debauchery and is one of the first locations noted in history where gay sex was practiced by a significant number of its population. So much so that when Abraham appealed for grace to spare the city, if up to 10 righteous people were found, none could be found worth saving besides Lot and his household. In Sodom and Gomorrah, male prostitution was rife, and men had cultivated the appetite of laying with men for pleasure. That was not all, though. Incest was rife, and from historical accounts, sexual orgies were a cultural phenomenon in the city. This is why the use of sodomy as a pejorative term to describe homosexuality and anal sex is a thing today. According to Bible and Jewish scholars, this went against the dictates of God, and he decided to consume the city not with water, but with something he had never used before: a consuming fire. However, which angel really destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah? And what were the names of the 3 angels that appeared to Abraham in the beginning of the saga? Let's go back in time to reveal their specific tasks as outlined in Genesis chapter 18 and the books of the Babylonian Talmud. The Bible does not mention their names in person, but refers to them in plural form, they. However, the Talmud identified these 3 angels as Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel. What were their specific tasks, and which one of them destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah? If you thought it was Raphael, you are wrong. Archangel Raphael was one of the angels who came down to earth for the mission, but it will surprise you to know that he wasn't the destroyer of Sodom and Gomorrah. In the Bavia Metzia, we are told that when they met Abraham in Mamre, he was standing on the left. Raphael had two tasks according to the Talmud. One was to heal Abraham, who had recently undergone a circumcision. After the first task, he departed along with another angel to Sodom and Gomorrah. But it wasn't Raphael who destroyed the city, but to save Lot and his family. He partially succeeded as Lot's wife failed to heed his warnings when she looked back at the city and turned into a pillar of salt. The second angel was Michael. This angel is considered the greatest of the angelic princes and known as a battle angel in Jewish, Catholic, and Orthodox faiths. He was the one standing in the middle when they met Abraham. Due to his role as a battle angel in the War of Heaven, many have erroneously name-checked him as the destroyer of Sodom and Gomorrah. However, this is not the case according to the Babylonian Talmud. Michael accompanied his brothers solely to bring good tidings to Sarah about her soon-to-be-born son to fulfill the promise God made to Abraham decades earlier. Perhaps Sarah and Abraham did not know they were angels until Michael called out Sarah for laughing in disbelief about bearing a child in her old age. From Genesis chapter 18, verses 10 onwards, we are told that Michael delivers the message. Afterwards, they inform him of the other task, bade Abraham's family farewell, and departed. Now, this is where the split happens. The Bible doesn't tell us where one angel went, but from chapter 19 we see that only two angels head to Sodom and Gomorrah. When they arrive Sodom and Gomorrah, we are told of how Lot lets them into his home, and how he offers his two daughters to the men of the city when they try to force the door open to apprehend both visitors so they can have carnal knowledge of them. We are told that the angels strike the invaders at the doorstep with blindness. At this point, Raphael completes his final task in chapter 19, verse 17 of Genesis, by telling Lot that the city is about to be destroyed, and leads Lot's household out of the city to a safe distance. The angel that was left behind was responsible for the destruction of the city. This was the angel standing on the right side of Michael when they met Abraham at Mamre. That angel was none other than Gabriel. For generations, his role in this massacre was not widely known because the Bible never mentioned him or his brothers by name. Furthermore, because he was the archangel who brought the good news of the Immaculate Conception of Jesus to Mary in the New Testament, many Bible students found it hard to comprehend the possibility that a bearer of good news can also initiate so much violence and destruction on a people. Make no mistake, folk, Gabriel is a powerful force of divine nature, known for extreme power, and was one of the commanders who broke the unholy triumvirate of Lucifer in the great battle of heaven, as we shall see in a later episode. After Raphael had departed the city with Lot's family, the cloud turned black and the ground quaked with tremors. The angel who rained down fire in Genesis 19 from verses 21 to 24 is Gabriel. Formerly in human form, he transforms into his real nature with starry-eyed, outstretched majestic wings and with a flaming sword in his hand. He waved his sword from an elevated point and caused the clouds to vomit balls of fire. The entire city was enveloped with thick fumes and tar, and the walls of Sodom and castles of Gomorrah were turned to a pile of char and coal. According to Bible scholars, the inhabitants found no escape, as their flesh and bones were consumed by the fiery furnace from heaven, and their posterity was cut short, so much so that none was left breathing after the fiery storm. So, as you can see from historical accounts dating back thousands of years, 3 angels met with Abraham, and 2 went to the city, but only 1 destroyed it. Raphael came to heal Abraham and usher Lot and his family to safety. Michael brought the good news of the coming of Isaac, but Gabriel was tasked with the job of destroying Sodom and Gomorrah. Thanks for watching until the end. We hope you liked this video, and we implore you to click the like button and subscribe to our channel for next week's episode, which will be just as interesting as this one. Until then, Godspeed.